So there's this song that's been stuck in my head for the past couple of days. It repeats, "You say God, I say Satan," over and over again, almost like a mantra. And at first I was thinking, maybe Manson's just trying to troll on Christians as usual, and the fact that it's his 10th studio album and my 10th Arjuneus talk.
Are you on 10 yet? Are you on 10 yet? Wait, are you on 10 yet?
Which no one would have cared to notice except me, so fuck you all. Anyways, I was listening to this song around 3 a.m. and oh my Satan, that mantra just got deeper and deeper the more I researched it. But before I begin, let me say that I don't actually believe in the personified interpretation of God or the devil. I think these are mythologies, which is why they need your faith to make it feel like they're real. Sort of like the law of attraction. But since most of the world finds comfort in turning the complexity of life within and beyond the human phenomenon and existence all into a simple anthropocentric fairy tale, let's entertain the thought, shall we? God is the force for everything that is good in the universe, and the devil everything that is evil. But what I have gathered here in this and the next video may prove that God is secretly Satan himself. So before someone gets offended, listen very closely. "And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them." God just decided to drown everyone on planet Earth to death. What does this teach us? Oh, my children didn't turn out the way I wanted. Oops, I screwed up as a father, so I will just kill you all now, because it repenteth me. Are you out of your devil damn mind? Wasn't Lucifer the one that was trying to destroy us because he thought we weren't worthy? Now go, attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put to death men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys. Really, God wanted you to kill babies. If this is the brutality God encourages, then what the hell does the devil do? Alright, listen guys, biblically the devil is known to be the father of lies, who aims to troll and mess with everyone's heads. Sort of like the Joker as I talked about in my last vlog. But given what we've just read, is it possible that the God of the Bible is not who we think? There used to be a 2nd century religion called Gnosticism, not to be confused with agnosticism. The Gnostics claimed that everything that is evil in our world is all accountable to our Creator. Thus, the Creator is the ultimate being of evil. They believed we were pieces of the divine imprisoned inside a material body sent here to suffer. They interpreted that the God of the Holy Bible was actually the vile Satan all along, deceiving the Christians. Of course, back in the day, the Christian church was basically the government, and they despised this, so they made sure this belief system did not go very far, which is why we don't hear much about it today. So could it be the real devil has been on the throne this whole time, who's just toying with all our faiths for his own entertainment? Think about it. This biblical God wants you to sacrifice animals to him. He wants you to sacrifice children to him. And not to mention he endorses sexism, anti-LGBT laws, and selling women to their rapists. And he commands you to follow everything he says like you're his little slave. You have to give yourself up to worship this terrifying being, or he will personally send you to burn, choke, and suffer in hell for eternity. Oh, but he loves you though! Come on guys, is this really the description of an unconditionally loving God? Or a satanic God? And I know what some of you might be thinking, God also does good things for us. He does everything for a reason, to teach us to better ourselves. You may be thinking that there's a purpose behind all the pain, suffering, and IRS taxes. Now remember, if God is behind all the good and evil that happens to us, unfortunately that just proves my point even more. He's playing both characters. If I was the devil, I would manifest myself inside of a virgin, say that I am the Son of God, and convince everyone that they can now be forgiven for every sin just by asking, thus opening the floodgates for an unprecedented and unending torrent of sin. I would start with the uneducated and the poor. I would impress them with some magic tricks, teach them to pretend to eat my flesh, drink my blood, and always use my name when speaking to God. I would most assuredly use my immortality to fool them into thinking I came back from the dead as proof of my divinity. What better way to channel more souls away from God and straight into hell? This all makes a little too much sense, and what's more is that the crucifixion of Jesus does not add up. God did not need to come in human form to experience human suffering when God is all-knowing. He is omniscient. This crucifixion did not improve God's judgment of us when God's judgment was perfect before and after his crucifixion. And most importantly, would God, a deity capable of perfect communication with everyone simultaneously, whisper his most important messages only to a few ancient individuals? That's a little fishy, don't you think? Plus, if it wasn't for Satan, the church would not be in business. There's an old saying that the devil is the church's best friend, so you just might be worshipping the great trickster himself. Now, if Christianity is potentially a bunch of devil worshippers, then it begs the question, what about Satanism? Are they devil worshippers too? Here's where things get a little interesting. It turns out Satanism is not about worshipping the devil. The devil doesn't exist. Satanism is about worshipping and believing in yourself because you are responsible for your own good and evil. Christianity's war against the devil has always been a fight against man's most natural instincts, for sex, for violence, for self-gratification, and a denial of man's membership in the animal kingdom. The idea of heaven is just Christianity's way of creating hell on earth. Now, I'm not insinuating that Satanism is the way to go, but some food for thought I'll leave you with. So I'm going to end the video here because it's gone quite long, but in the next part we will dive a little more into other religions and gods. So stay tuned and chaos out. I'm sure a lot of angry theists have a lot of things to say, but of course the purpose of this is to question the system, to make sure we aren't fooling ourselves, because I used to myself. So feel free to share this with someone you think would find this discourse thought-provoking.